Alô, alô. Alô, alô. Quer fazer? Salve, rapaziada. Boa tarde. Tá pegando aí o mic? Alô, Kennedy. Pegando? Vambora. Vamos assistir esses joguinhos aqui. Começou. Salve, Gabriel. Salve, Thiago. Estreia do Kamikaze, meus amigos. Qual outro jogo vai ter simultâneo desse aqui? Depois do jogo da NiP MD3. Vai ser mais tarde. Ficou fora do barman. Esse Zek pela Sakura ali é muito difícil pelo verde, mano. Eu acho muito difícil isso aqui, ó. Essa finalização aqui, ó. Pô, me surpreendeu essa derrota da NiP, guys. De verdade mesmo. Cara, eu vou ter que dar uma arrumadinha aqui só. Calma aí, guys. Deixa eu dar aquela... Não, essa aqui... É, nessa aqui mesmo, ó. Puxar a câmera um pouco pro lado aqui. É... Deixa eu fazer uma parada aqui só pra gente ficar show de bola na nossa live, tá? Encaixar aqui, ó, a nossa câmera. Ou na real, lá em cima na esquerda também é uma boa, né? Deixa eu ver uma parada aqui. Tá, aqui não tá legal não. Eu tenho que alinhar aqui, ó, onde tá meu mouse aqui. Ah, então agora pode fazer stream simultâneo, Jota. Ah, porra, não liguei. Pera aí, cara. Tem que subir um pouco pra esquerda ainda. Ou sério, eu acho que eu tô fazendo isso aqui do jeito mais difícil, né? Isso aqui é a truma. Ah, não tem problema não. Depois a gente vê isso aqui também. Depois eu vou ajeitar e eu puxo a live pra vocês, beleza?
Attacker's bomb diffuser has been dropped.
Aí, tô com os dois chassis na tela, maravilha, cara. Pô, vou ter que botar com narração aqui, melhor, né, guys? Melhor com narração, guys. Enquanto a gente tá se localizando aqui nas strings. Deixa a narração gringa.
Previous hammer lifter as he tries to figure out this 1 versus 4, and also Kamikaze, one of the people that gave Space Station a terrible time in winning their hammer back at SI 2020 as well. So pretty cool to see them have this interaction up against this ore once again. Obviously, all of these players minus
Ah, e tá com o
Fultz
dropzão aí,
have
tá, na nossa
changed.
live, guys.
So,
Deixa eu até
pretty
botar aqui, ó.
interesting story with that, and Fultz also being the one to close out the round. Very well done from Space Station as they will get the big dub here on round 2.
There is big man himself, SI champion of the past, just like Kamikaze on the other side, as you said. And here's the young gunner, Ashen. Hot and Cold is actually one of the most experienced players in the game as
Tá
well.
lá,
He's been playing for a
drop
hell
zone.
of a long time.
So crazy.
He
Drop
had such
specs.
a long stint on DZ and back when they were Flipside
Yes,
even.
yes, my boy.
Oh,
my
Toski.
boy.
Flipside homies, mate, I still
Toski é
have
gente
the
boa.
Flipside charm
Oh,
in-game.
I gotta give you a hug on that
Yeah,
one.
One of my
Yes,
favorite
yes.
teams from back in the day.
E aí, guys, tá
I
pegando
always
certinho?
picked the
Tá ok a live?
for a minute. We could just hug it out on stream.
Yeah, right. No, dude, anytime
Tá suave.
I wanna
Então, vamos dar uma
show
assistidinha
how
nesse
long
game
I've been
aqui.
invested in the esports of this game, I always show off my flipside charm. That's like a I'm an
the
OG.
flex, yeah.
Exactly,
big
exactly.
flex.
You either do that or you
Salve,
bring
Vinícius.
out,
Fala, João
like, the
Pedro.
very first iteration of the esports skins. And everyone's like,
Tamo on lá aqui no Twitch também,
"Why
João.
It's 'cause I'm him, that's why."
A gente ainda não sabe se vai participar o Gabriel, tamo vendo.
So, as you can see on screen, even though,
Cara, tem alguns jogos ainda hoje. Tem o jogo da NiP mais tarde e deve ter o jogo da Wolves também.
they win this, they're 100% locked in. Nobody can knock them out of SI contention. Alpha Atheros, on the other hand, with
Nossa,
this
se eles ganhar, eles estão
first
no...
international event,
Estão
it'll
no...
be a much
no
bigger
Inf.
challenge. However, if
Da hora.
Alpha Atheros do win this game, funnily enough, Team Bliss and Dark
Fala,
Zero
Victor
will be
de Oliveira, tranquilo?
for SI. Two teams completely irrelevant to this matchup. An interesting fact nonetheless.
João Pedro sou eu,
Especially
cara.
this time of
Meu
year,
Deus,
that's how it
ô
starts to
Jota.
work out. It starts to become less of what your efforts are and a lot
Melhor Jota, né,
more of
mano?
how
Esse que
the
é true.
stars line up. And Alpha Theris could be the shooting star that both of those teams need in order to make it to the 6th Invitational in Brazil this coming year. Ivan's going to be the very first one to strike true here in round 3 as he'll take down Jane. I know that's going to be Jaeger gone, but still have a long road ahead of them. They're going to enjoy that pick, but they can't rest on their laurels.
Sua opinião como pro, tem algum time que você acha que tá vindo com tudo no Major? É difícil, mano. Acho que tem vários times que podem vir com tudo no Major, né, mano? Essa que é a true, mano. Temos vários exemplos, né?
Yeah, going for vertical nades, going for great shots with the F90. I mean, she's got it all. The only real weakness to Gridlock is her speed. If she was a 3-speed, you'd be seeing her every round, mark my words.
Acho que os times BRs vão bem no Major, mano. Acho que
Gone 6, by the way, if you don't wanna
times
go
vão bem.
next.
E essa grid aí, muita gente usando, é boa, né, mano? Pode cortar uma rotação, ou pelo menos atrasar uma rotação e ainda tem as granadas, né? A galera usa por causa das frags, mas, pô, ter um outro gadget assim é muito bom, mano. Antes pensa, tinha um Sledge que, por exemplo, nesse bomb aqui, ó, do karaokê não ia mudar nada ter um Sledge. Então faz muito mais sentido, mano. Muito mais sentido usar uma gridlock que pode ajudar a cortar rotate, que é tudo que você quer, porque tem muito redomínio de baixo aqui, ó, nesse bomb, igual o Lesion tá pressionando agora, e ao mesmo tempo... Ah, vai morrer.
Oh, and this is exactly what you and I were fearing. We didn't want them to overstep into Space Station's utility. I mean, although they might still have it, Fultz is very
Space Station
low.
olhou o
He's
bomb do
gonna go
karaokê
for
por
the swing,
quase
he
último.
throws it out, and I do believe that he at least gets it. There's going to be one down, but Ivan will clean it up. So Alpha Theros will get the round, but Hask, we've got to be a little bit more patient on these executes.
O Nil,
It's true, it was a
tudo
very
descolorido.
ambitious one there for the Monty,
Patinada.
but fortunately, after an early pick there for Alpha Atheris and consistent work during that mid-round, they managed to pull it back, despite impressive heroics on the Echo, finding 2 kills at the top of the back stairs. But first round on the board for Alpha Atheris. It's not bad.
And it's on the bomb site that is the most won on this map, too.
Strangely enough, the most favored bomb site by most teams ends up being the least favored to the defense.
Dude, I'm telling you, you put Forrest on a roster, you're just bound to have crazy stuff happen. it's just the nature of the beast, I'm telling you.
A lot of creativity on this team for sure. There's no doubt about it. SSG is always known for it, and I mean, bringing in all of these players from the old Astralis roster as well, you're getting so much more firepower and like that kind of. I don't necessarily want to call them like young players because they've been around for a while now, but compared to like the old guard of Fultz and Hot and Cold, they have a much
Também
more
queria, Gabriel.
Dude, it's so crazy that Fultz is considered an old guard player now. Oh, dude, time, it just keeps going. Oh.
I mean, it was nearly 4 years ago this guy won on their side.
Cara, eu fui lá no médico, né? Bem, mano.
Man, you're so
Ah.
late too. That's the worst part. Why do you have to be late?
Chato ainda, né? Mas agora
Well, that being said, especially
esperar,
after
né?
considering this
Esperar, ele
matchup
falou,
for a
mano.
second,
Esperar,
Colin
vai
also on this
melhorar.
roster too
Mas
as
tá
their
aí,
head
né?
coach, which is an awesome thing.
É a
Even
vida.
the staffing that made that Astralis roster so very special. Some of the other players obviously spreading to some different corners of the earth, specifically Iconic, who we'll see later on in this tournament. One of my favorite players inside of North America. It's just really, really cool what Astralis was at the time and what they have came to be throughout the entirety of the Rainbow Six Siege ecosystem. We're about 40 seconds in now, folks. Not too much action to be had just yet. Toski's taken a tad bit of damage, and we're really just MacGyvering around these windows. A nice find for Hask here as
Pô,
Ashen
o cara
Splinter
louco
sticking
também,
a
ficou
little
de
bit too
12 do
far out,
multi ali,
and he
mano.
doesn't even get a
Grudadinho.
chance to try and send a shot Hask's way.
Yeah, look, even on land, I don't think you're going to have reaction time to make that one work, Ash.
Boa noite, Lovex. E aí?
Nice idea, but an early pick against Space Station is what spelled defeat for
Difícil ali essa troca,
round,
mano.
and I wouldn't want Ashen to be getting too aggressive like that consistently. Hosky's doing some good work getting vertical game to try and take down any potential
Eu acho que ainda não tiraram o jammer da única ali, mano.
Of course, we can see that it's simply the mute jammers which will now be disabled in theory. I can see one still at large, perhaps near the minibar, so yeah, indeed, that one will not be destroyed from below.
Olha lá, não tiraram. Tira lá, guys. Alô, Ash.
Coming over here for the side panel too.
Tira agora.
Go to the drones, and that drone
Também.
economy not
Tá
looking
com
too
uma carga
hot
dash
spot
na
right
mão.
now, Dev. Halfway through the round, we got 3 drones
Hang
left,
on.
but Jay wants to try and send it in. They've got the ace over inside of the other portion of the site as well. Jay will be able to take down Forrest as everything has reached a critical point for Space Station. I don't think that they were ready for this full-on assault out of thin air. Not even any info, not anything at all. Alpha Theris just send it, and it works. It's down to Hot and Cold into 1 versus 4. We've seen this man do some crazy things before, but I highly doubt he makes it out of this situation. It's going to be Hask that seals the deal and ties things up here on Skyscraper.
Damn, look at that energy as well from Hask at the end of it. Ivan getting up and about to Alpha Atheris.
É, guys.
Even with Space Station 2 rounds apiece, and that was quite a saucy one.
2-2, temos um jogo. Temos um game.
Who sent up a hash directly into the damn bomb site. It was Forrest actually playing the mirror in that bomb site, who seemed completely clueless to the fact that
Essa parte do torneio aqui eles falam, vamos fazer essa parte só pra ter mais zebras. Essa mineirinha, salve.
That he really should have heard that, and he really should have found that kill. Because he didn't, Alpha Altheris steal the round.
Yeah, we'll give him that slight tad bit of a benefit of the doubt. You know, when that gunfire starts happening and stuff like that, things start to really blend together. You know, but yeah, I'm definitely with you in that boat. That's a situation where you just kind of expect him to win out that, but obviously completely caught off guard, was not prepared for somebody to.
Tá animado, ele tem que estar, né?
It went swimmingly for Alpha Theris. I think the crazy thing for me in that round there, Dev, is that they drone out the site. They really don't get all that much info. All those drones get destroyed, and then they just send it into site anyways.
Tem uma dor no braço chata aqui, tá?
They get all the picks necessary to get a plant
Siege.
victory.
Now, Space Station have a few things to think about here, Sam. They've just failed to win on Tea Room Karaoke. They've failed to win now on Exhibition Office. Those are the 2 most popular sites on this map. Now, yes, they've won Kitchen Barbecue previously, and it was fairly dominant as well.
Troquei, Jota.
But repeating it now is only 1 step towards securing this half. A 4-2 is definitely what Space Station are going to be looking for. This is Skyscraper after all. You don't expect the attack to have a lot of favor here.
Yeah, most definitely. And the most interesting thing about this so far for Alpha
É, depois eu vou arrumar random pra próxima live, pode deixar, Verão. Vou arrumar isso que você falou aí da câmera e tal.
It's really just pure grit that they're using up against Space Station right now, and it's working out for them. We've seen some really interesting moments.
Deixa eu terminar essa partida aqui, aí eu vou dar uma ajeitada. Eu acho que eu vou jogar lá pra cima na esquerda, não sei se fica legal, mano.
And hey, like I said, I'm biased towards
Pensando em botar embaixo no meio aqui, ó. Botar embaixo no meio ali depois. Time esquerda é meta? Acho que não, mano. Isso aí, não sei, vou ver. Tô pensando em botar onde tá a câmera dos jogadores ali, ó.
Yeah, you don't see that every day. I mean, usually
Defesa
you expect them to be close to the door.
totalmente largada aí, o andar de cima por parte da Space Station. Pode ser que eles forcem alguma rotação na branca, não sei, vamos ver.
So crazy, that little panel, just that little panel piece at the bottom of the reinforcement on the door is just enough to make it to where that drone can slip by.
Ó, já tão com aquele lado do mapa lá, ó.
Comes a margin
Moz e
here
a...
when it comes to siege. Whether it be utility or
Nice.
firepower. Now here, and in 10 seconds remaining, Alpha Theris do have top floor control. Do not have a lot of verticality to play into this though. Toski might have a secondary shotgun that he can use to try and break up some of that flooring.
Pouquinho lento, que eles sabiam neste round que tava largado aqui, ó, nesse lado do mapa.
Toski's gonna get gunned by Ashen, who finally hits his mark with this M590 that he's been looking for so very long.
Ih, vai dar de cara com o shield.
There's not a lot of vision, but he gets the timing down perfectly. Forrest and Fold spring into action. Kamikaze.
Bem jogada, hein, pela CCG, bem jogada. Sincronizaram o avanço por cima, pro redomínio do Shadow, o karaokê, com o avanço escada abaixo. Muito bem jogado, gostei.
Alpha had quite a bit of momentum building on the back of those last two attacks, but SSG now putting them back in their place. Patience exuded from Faults and Hot and Cold on this top floor as they patiently hold this position. Hot to find the final one and a second flawless round in this game for SSG.
Looking solid. When Space Station have a definitive advantage, it's really difficult to try and grasp it away from them, right? And I mean, we really have to highlight Ashen there as well. The patience on that secondary swing. You never really expect it from these young guns, right? They usually tend to want to get in the face of the opponent, really just show off their gusto, but instead he just plays it out. Plays it for timing.
Qual mapa eu gosto mais pra jogar? Ah, boa pergunta, mano.
For a second, folks, we're going to get some info on this and where the last Alpha Theris player is. We don't know if it's a glitch on our HUD. We don't know if there's a player not, in there. We'll just have to find out. It looks like we are having a little bit of a tech issue, so we're going to take a pause here for just a split second. But this does give us some time to talk about what the hell we have just been witnessing here in between these two teams.
A lot of things. I don't know. I'm sorry to distract. I just want to say, hey, look at these matching mouse pads. That's nice.
Dude, they want to be me so bad. Everybody's got artisan mouse pads now, dude. I'm telling you.
Are you a trendsetter? Everyone else is just a follower.
Dude, it is. I got the Shindekai mouse pad before anybody even knew what artisan was. I ordered that thing out of Japan, and then like a year and a half later, everybody's getting artisan mouse pads, dude. And then now, I mean, this is like 3 years later now. Everyone has them. But I will say this. Shout out to Artisan. They make great mouse pads. Obviously, there's a lot of other things as well, but hey, I'm just telling you. Dude, I'm really sad that they took away the Shindekai mouse pad. It had like glass beads in it, and it was like the best gliding mouse pad I've ever owned in my life. They don't make it anymore because the glass beads will work their way out of the cloth. So, yeah, that's my little soapbox there for mouse pads, folks.
I didn't know that you cared this much about mouse pads, man.
Dude, I'm so specific about the things that I use. Like even if it's a tiny thing. Like for instance, I tried like the Super Glide mouse skates recently, and I tried them on like one of the very slick mouse pads, and there was just like a slight grab when you moved your mouse. None of my roommates could feel it at all. I was the only one that could. And then one of my friends used that exact setup for a week, and he came back to me and was like, "Yeah, I had to change the mouse pad because I could start feeling that grab." So maybe I'm just a little special in the head. That's okay.
Cara, se eles fizerem o terceiro round aqui, teremos jogo, hein?
Because that's gonna get in your head, and you'll be like, I cannot use this mouse.
Dude.
Absolutely not.
Literally me yesterday trying to play games on my laptop. I'm like, oh, this isn't my home setup. Oh my god.
Esse que é true, guys.
You know what's funny? Just a bit of a segue. A lot of these players that aren't used to playing on LAN, that's exactly what they experience. I remember talking to Bliss after Copenhagen, and they were blaming their equipment. They were saying, oh, we couldn't get into it because we're so used to our home setups. Man, like, this is LAN. You gotta get used to this environment. If you want to be a pro player, you need to be able to adapt.
You know, just to bring up good stories, and especially good stories about a really good friend, Michael Stockley.
Kamikaze now.
Their squad, you know, some of these players have been around for quite some time inside of Mexico and other portions of competitive siege. I mean, some of these players I even bump into in rank across the.
Já botaram como meta nesse Major? É, Desejo jogou hoje já, pelo que eu vi.
But that also means that we can lean into some pretty interesting things. Something that, you know, comes to mind is something like Labs or something like skyscraper.
Okay. How about
And
that, though? Alpha
yeah.
actually are the ones that leave Clubhouse in Space Station Bandit as their
Nossa, agora que eu vi a Teres preferiu começar no ataque, no arranha.
Clubhouse. They wanted to go to Skyscraper instead.
I like this. I really like this decision from them. It's really early in the tournament, right? You want to try and use maybe some of that new grease and see.
Surpresa pra mim. Surpresa.
But that call, but we'll just have to see.
Yeah, that call was good.
Semana Blitz, vamos ver a comemoração da Blitz 8-6, hein, mano.
As of
But in still
flank. Aussies! Wolves started so strong, but Oda closes it. The Aussies have done what no Aussie team has done for a hell of a long time. Crikey, they've taken down the Wolves!
I cannot believe that has just happened. The upset.
Just send it. What's the worst that's gonna happen? We're gonna lose the round anyways? Oh no!
Yeah, I think Alpha Theris.
Deve ser muito da hora ganhar assim, né, mano?
Map clear and then clear the utility, clear the power position, clear.
Você é nem perto de favorito e
Space Station's bread and butter.
acontece.
Alpha's really struggled with it. Where they have succeeded is doing things a little bit unorthodox. Hey, what if we get a Mont and we try and brute force something, we bait out picks, and then we convert a 4v2? That is the strength of this Mexican-Brazilian roster, and that's what I want to see a little bit more of. Yeah, you could say, oh, they really need to address these issues head on. Let's be real. When you're in a game, you cannot learn how to do something that you are not capable of doing.
Yep.
Instead, you have to try and reach your skill ceiling. Your skill ceiling is already set when you launch up the game and open the server. Practice is for another time. That's when you improve. Getting into the game, you just need to try and be your best that you can be in that moment, right?
Yep.
Tem alguém falando de fundo aqui, ó.
Trying to exploit brute force and baiting for kills. Go for that.
Certeza tem alguém falando de fundo aqui.
Cara,
eu tô achando que esse jogo aqui
What do I play? Oh, I don't
pode
know. What
acontecer.
do you play? You know, like if you tell us what ops you want to play or what character you want to play in the game, then we'll figure something out from your list. But you need, as you said, you need experience with these things. You don't just fire from the hip and hope something happens. It's especially up against a team like Space Station. So stick to what is working, stick to what you know, and it will get you a heck of a lot farther than you think.
Worked so far by both teams, in fact. Ashen really quick here with the Azami. Not only is he able to trick that Selma from fully detonating and opening a line of sight, but he also plugs up that line of sight then with the Azami's Kiba barrier. So that's a really good start here. And now, question is for Alpha Theris, how are they going to deal with that position? How are they going to deal with this impact tricking Azami inside Geisha? Uh-oh.
Well, the crap part is that they have to find a solution pretty quick because they've already burnt a minute. We're now in crunch time, all things considered, when it comes to clear.
Open queuing de novo, mano.
We didn't get to see this ankle just yet. Oh, yes, Ivan! Very well done. Pantry
Quase
is
não
the
foi, hein?
play, and he'll get two.
Mais uma.
No way. No way. So much damage. He can't miss right now, folks. Put him on the Texas Rangers.
Boa play, hein, mano.
Incredible. Man. 2 pitches, practically 2 strikes there as well. Incredible stuff out of him in those frag grenades. Ashen on such very low HP. Forrest and Fultz now really have to pick up these pieces.
There is still a chance here for SSG though, even for Ashen, but man, he's so low and he's terrified. He starts to move back towards Drum. Ivan on the other side, also low HP. What is the play for Alpha Atheris? A minute left.
Slow and steady wins the race right now for Space Station. You can see what is at least building up to be a hold for the next strike from Alpha Theris. But Alpha, especially with the man advantage, there's so many different ways that they can work this and try and pull Space Station into different positions that won't exactly be beneficial to them. Fultz is going to get droned out, and that's going to force him back over to the far side of T. Some bullets hanging along, and some bullets now being delivered here, too, as Haas knows exactly where that man is. The craziest Gone 6 I've ever seen in my entire life is to launch that across into the ether. I don't even know what he was going for, but hey, screw it. Ashen's going to get, no way, 2 on such a low HP bar. That's not supposed to happen. Hask and Ivan both low as well. They have to know that Ashen's in drum. There's no way.
Ashen's brought this one back for SSG. It was 3v5.
No, they don't.
And now he's made it 3v2. The triple kill for the youngest player at the tournament. As Alpha Atheris look to force down this plan. Forrest will not allow it. defense. SSG 4-2 in the half, and Ashen cannot believe it.
Oh, I can't either. So
Entenderam como é que são as coisas, né? O cara ficou com 1 de vida. Ficou com 1 de vida. Porque a frag de baixo não puniu. E consequentemente ele, né, pôde ficar vivo durante o round pra vencer. É, velhão. As coisas são loucas.
They still overlook it. Huge oversight by Alpha Theris, and now you no longer have equal footing. You're down by 2 rounds.
Loucura, clã.
On the flip side, I will say, I feel like SSG had to win that round. It's defense on Skyscraper, right? But on the other hand, Alpha Atheris have just fumbled a certain round. And that has got to get in their heads. They need to pick up the pieces. They need to get back on that horse because the momentum that they had in the middle of that first half has completely evaporated.
Most definitely. And that's the thing about that side switch too, is it already takes quite a bit of wind out of your sails. Even if you're looking pretty hot, right? You know, you have 4-2-5-1 half. You still have to reinsert yourself into the game in a different way because that's what it is. It's a different game. You're now playing a completely different set of rules, different operators, a lot of things that change up for you.
Sei não, hein, isso aqui, mano. Eu acho que que ainda a Teres pode se dar bem, mano. Alpha Teres, mano.
Been seeing a lot more of Finka nowadays again. Those frag grenades really giving her a lot of love, and it's clearly working out.
Eu gostei que eles estão pegando o Kite, a Teres, tá vendo? Estão jogando Kite. É um operador forte que a Space Station não abusou nesse mapa. Vamos verificar, né? Vamos verificar o que vai acontecer aqui. Mas é uma playmatch até bom, né? Por parte da SSG a princípio.
Toski, though, on this roam with the Ela, we've seen quite a bit from him. He's playing together with Jay on this roam game, but Space Station are not actually looking to map sweep laterally at the moment on that second floor. Instead, there's quite a few lurks going on. We can see Forrest downstairs in the bathroom, putting a bit of pressure towards figuring out where he might be able to snake his way
É caçada mesmo. Tô louco, tô aí. O que tá acontecendo aí? Tá coisa espalhada na real. Tô viajando, cara.
Make sure that they do not overstep their boundaries and give an early pick over here to Alpha Atheris, although Hot and Cold on the Nook will begin sneaking his way in. I really like how he's doing this undercover. What I mean by that is under the cover of the audio coming out from the Dokkaebi there. You can hear that ringing off in the rafters. It's going to make it to where a lot of the audio of them moving around this base floor, especially for Hot and Cold, going to be a heck of a lot quieter, make it where they can potentially work their way under Pantry and deliver.
Complicada, mano, acontece.
This is a blind nade though for Hot and Cold. He doesn't have information. I really think that the idea for Space Station here has got to be get info on these players on site and then start to...
Não vai ganhar o round, mano. Desculpa, mano.
Don't send them in blind.
Sou de Curitiba,
Now that one was blind.
Orlando.
And while it was so close, it only
Nossa,
does
matou.
meager damage
Meu
onto Ivan. Meanwhile, Ashen
Deus,
stepped
alô,
up once again.
guys.
Where are these kills going down? Toski tries to refrag. A success. But Fault's going down is only the first step of many that will be required. Ashen finally traded on back. As Ivan and Toski pick up the pieces of this round for Alpha Atheris. Space Station will not stop. They are incessant, and they still maintain the advantage with 45 seconds to play. Chasing him down. Hot and Cold will not give up so easily. And Ivan's missed the opportunity. Toski! What are you doing, mate? You can't be missing those fights. Hot and Cold lands the final kill. SSG have got to be thanking their lucky stars. They stole that round from Alpha.
The Scorpion Evo just... I'm at a loss. I'm at a loss at what we just witnessed right there. It's going to proc the immediate tactical timeout. And why wouldn't it? I mean, a 5-2 split right now. Alpha Atheris definitely had some better looks earlier on, but these defenses are not looking good to at least start here.
No, I mean, and it really just came out from massive 2 kills from Ashen right at the start. I don't even know where that
Gente, ele só comeu aquela porta ali do cinza, mano. E só foi, velho. Ganhou muito espaço no mapa. Tá, o Sazori. Boa noite.
If anything, this tactical timeout shouldn't be about talking strategy, about talking tactics. The most important thing right now is chilling out. Guys, we know how to play this game. Space Station aren't doing anything out of
Tchau, Gabriel.
We can beat them.
Comandou ali, beleza?
Relax a little bit. Stop making these micro mistakes and letting SSG steal these rounds.
I mean, dude, they were incredibly hyper-focused on what was happening around Geisha, and...
Mas eu queria entender só, esse cara só comeu a porta do cinza ali, foi isso mesmo?
Now that one was blind to send those.
Foi exatamente isso, né? Eu tô louco.
because you'll miss your opportunity. Now, that one was blind, and while it was so close, it only does meager damage onto Ivan. Meanwhile, Ashen stepped up once again. Where are these kills going down? Toski tries to refrag, a success. But Fault's going down is only the first step of many that will be required. Ashen finally traded on back. As Ivan and Toski pick up the pieces of this round for Alpha Atheris. Space Station will not stop. They are incessant, and they still maintain the advantage with 45 seconds to play. Chasing him down. Hot and Cold will not give up so easily. And Ivan's missed the opportunity. Toski, what are you doing?
Esse cara ganhou um round comendo a porta aqui, é isso que eu não tô entendendo. Ele pegou aqui no kamikaze, ele deve ter vacilado ali no shield, algo do tipo, ó. E aí isso entrou. É uma gameplay, é uma forma de gameplay, né? Uma vibe. Esse pixelzinho aqui, ó, que o Husky tá usando é muito bom, mano. De Warden. Fiz na rankedinha ontem, tá? Como que tá aí? Tá de boa, Teus. Algumas surpresas. A NiP perdeu o primeiro jogo, joga hoje mais tarde. A Los ganhou. Foi bem tranquilo. E é isso, estamos vendo aqui, né? Gameplay.
Explosion out. That's going to be the single panel dealt with, and that will at least allow them a rotation in later on, all things considered. Also makes to where Fultz can be just a tad bit more active if he wants to be, as he's already gotten one of those jobs done, but you really don't want to lose that therm until you're able to at least get some pressure over on the double wall.
Well, unfortunately, I don't think Fultz is going to be able to breach the double wall since one of the walls has already been opened up. It's not safe to place thermite on there. I don't know if that's how he died right there, but the long angle from Hask
O som do jogo tá meio estranho, tá meio baixo aqui. Nossa! Prefire, velho. Boa, boa. O Prefire, gostei.
SSG must now rely on the map control from Hot and Cold
Que
and
isso, alô?
Forest to pick up this
Bugou.
round.
At a bare minimum, at least they do have some semblance of control over these walls. Like you said, the far one already having to breach in it from the defense, so they can play a little bit actively on that swing, and the single panel also being handled.
Deu pra ver na câmera esse vault aqui, hein, mano. O cara tava olhando a câmera, se ele olhou pra janela aqui, ele viu essa knock entrando, já tem então. Se perder esse round, acabou a partida.
Oh my, not like this, Alpha Atheris. Once again, it's the same issue. It's just a portion of the map that they're not paying attention to. Somebody get him some glasses, because J90 is about to take him out. This is ridiculous. This should not happen, but yet here we are. Toski in a 1 versus 2 has a chance up against J90. It's going to be an impact out that's going to create a new angle for him to try and work off of. Tries to work his way over towards the dry bar door. Forrest has found a home for this case as well. It's going to be up to Toski to try and solve this equation.
Can Forrest stick this? It doesn't matter. J90's got it.
Yep.
How does this guy just jump on in, find 4 kills, and once again...
Sim, ô Torres, vamos fazer sim, pô.
I'm in the same boat. I'm just like, what the hell?
I caught myself. I caught myself.
Dude, yeah.
Holy moly.
Vamos fazer as
This is something, and like the
Simultâneas,
thing
sim.
about it is that Alpha Atheris is like actually just one decision away from being almost equal with Space Station in rounds. It's actually ludicrous. These last 2 rounds that Alpha Atheris has lost has strictly been because they're not paying attention where Space Station is attacking. That's it, just straight up.
Wow. What a game.
And that one with a
this
huge
has been.
lead too.
I can't believe it's 6-2 right now.
So crazy.
This game could easily be 4-4. Space Station, they just keep stealing it out of nowhere. I don't know how else to put it. Because Alpha Atheris, this is not like, it's a David and Goliath matchup going in, but Alpha Atheris have played pretty decently up until they just look the other way and let Space Station roll them.
Like a good parent, you got to turn a blind eye every once in a while, you know?
I don't think that applies to your Rainbow Six Siege defenses, I'm afraid. Oh man, I mean this is phenomenal for Space Station, because I'm sure they'll look back on this game and say, look guys, we had a couple of things we didn't do right, but we absolutely killed it at taking advantage of every opening that they gave us. So let's keep that momentum, let's get some confidence back. Ashen's been killing it. He should be fired up. This is his major debut.
Nossa, mas esse round aqui... Você sente esse round aqui, tá, mano? Nossa, tá muito fácil, mano. O cara entrou janela armas ali, mano. Como é um efeito, né, mano? Um vacilo ali, tipo... Não sei se era a marcação do câmbio, de quem era, ou não tinha nada, ou não tinha um arame, como tinha só a trap do Lesion. Ele pode... Teste desabilita a trap do Lesion hoje em dia? Agora ficou a dúvida aqui. Não sei. Não sei mais.
Plays third, full down,
Não, né?
hard
Não faz sentido desabilitar, né? Mas enfim,
light.
não tinha nada ali,
The
mano.
far one also
É só
being
entrou aqui, mano.
window. It's a hot
Ó.
cold's gonna hop the window and immediately get moving.
Aí, beleza,
Since he did
entrou.
hop that window,
Não, tamo
it's a
não,
different
BNX.
shape for her, and it makes it
Olha lá.
makes that glitch when she hops in.
Tinha duas traps na escada aqui, ó. Na escada
That
principal, mas não
window,
na
it's a
janela aqui.
different animation
Aí
for her,
entrou.
and it makes it makes that glitch when she hops in.
Nossa, tristinho, mano.
I would have thought that we would be here in 2023, casting in the state of Georgia together and talking about Space Station and Alpha Atheris, who finally are back in the service end.
Oh, thank you, Lord, because I really wanted to see the conclusion in this game. Are we gonna get Alpha Atheris on a heater for 4 rounds? Probably not. But
Man, it's so hard to picture 4 rounds in a row. I'll give them 2 maybe if they can, get themselves together, but 4, that's just not going to happen.
yeah, and the worst part about this is that Space Station is adding insult to injury. This is my favorite thing about this team is that they take every single game just like their last. They're always going to put in the same amount of work and try and get whatever they can out of their series. And you can see it here yet again. They were bringing the Monty. They're going to switch it out for the Lion, but I mean, the point still stands. Space Station is doing their damnedest to make sure that they shut down Alpha Atheris.
Yeah. That's the thing. Go for the throat. Doesn't matter if they're down. You got to finish the job. And Space Station are showing no mercy whatsoever. This has got to be one of the more dominant games that we've seen. I don't actually know what is the closest, what is the least close, rather, the most dominant match we've seen so far. I'll do a little bit of trivia.
Ooh,
Oh, so we did have DZ 7-2 Knights. That was a pretty dominant game.
Okay.
And this could be just as dominant here.
That's a pretty weird one as well. I don't know
E aí,
if
Gustavo,
I
beleza?
watched that lab
Salve,
series,
Ria.
but
E aí, Lucas, tranquilo?
awkward moments in that one for sure. Yeah, but either way,
I'll just say, on top of that, not a great day so far for Latin America, unfortunately. They've had 2 really challenging matches. As we said, Knights has already fallen. Alpha Atheris still to play, but it's not been great so far.
Ah, começamos agora, mano. Começamos agora, Gustavo, a assistir as partidas.
yeah, most definitely is. Don't call out.
Tava fora.
Nothing really to garner from it. You still have
Aí
one
na
in the back
gameplay
pocket,
agora.
J9O, and that is going to be hot and cold. He's usually the one trying to work his way in on, kind of the off the beaten path area. That's more than likely where he's going to go down here too.
That's what you expect when you see the knock. Nade's going down early, though. It's a bit of a detriment to SSG. Far fewer explosive utility to try and clear the immense utility. We've got keeper barriers. Hang on a
There we
second.
go.
Toski's now found faults as well. Heart Breacher gone down. The Thinker Boost comes through, but that's certainly not going to bring either faults nor Hot and Cold back to life.
We're halfway through the round, but it's just space.
No final de todas as partidas, quem sabe a gente dá uma olhadinha no jogo da NiP. O que aconteceu?
Every single one of these rounds is built up to be just like this. Where Space Station somehow, some way gets punished early on, whether it be through clear or cheeky little discovery by Alpha Atheris. But we reach the mid round, and all of a sudden the adaptations start rolling in, the info that they garnered from earlier in the round starts to affect their play, and they're
É,
able to
tem
win
sido
it out
esse
time and
joguinho
time
aqui, ó,
again.
Gustavão.
And honestly,
Meio
with that
estranho.
first pick, I'm going to call it right now. I really think
Ou
that
você não tá
SSG
falando desse
will
jogo?
take the 7-2, and I don't even know the way that they're going to do it. I really don't. We're going to find out together. We'll see if I'm wrong.
Big call. Janano and Ashen are still alive, both of
Nossa,
them! Forrest, what a nade from below, perfectly
beleza,
timed.
hein?
Ivan never saw it coming. 3v3 now, and there's no doubt about it. This advantage is for SSG. Hask is taking a lot of damage, and he's not able to get any shots back the other way. As we see Forrest once
Meu
again
Deus, eles
marching on forward.
trouxeram
J9O
todos os
takes
rounds
down
possíveis, mano.
Kamikaze.
Nossa,
It's all
matar.
up to Jay and Hask, and
Nossa.
marching on forward.
Mano,
Jay
Jay.
will hold the line.
Ah, não vai ganhar clutch,
J9O
não.
and Ashen have taken down Forrest now with it all to do in the 1v2, 20 seconds to play. And
No
Nate
way.
cooked. They hear it. Will they land the shot? It doesn't matter because
Quasinho,
Hask
mano.
has come around the corner and staved off yet another round for Alpha Atheris.
Sounded like a good old Stokes curse to keep us alive, baby. There we go.
They
Oh,
say
man.
more of that, please, Stokes.
Oh, man.
What?
What a moment there for Space Station, though. Same for Alpha Atheris can be said, but Space Station losing that round by the skin of their teeth.
Jay found
really.
a double, and that was it.
Yeah, that was genuinely it. And also if I believe it was Ashen that was on the entry on that right-hand door there for T. If he didn't have that awkward moment with the Legion bouncing and not knowing which target to really choose, that round is more than likely theirs. And you and I were talking about a closed-out series.
Well, another round. It's got to be one at a time here for Alpha Atheris. Now, of course, if you look at the scoreboard, don't be fooled. There has been that technical rehost we had, so these are not the complete kill counts. But I think it's what, 2 or 3. It's going to be at least 3 rounds we've had so far, right? Ivan and Kamikaze yet to find frags.
Well, it has to be 4 because people have 4 deaths.
Oh, really? Okay, so there you go. Kamikaze's got 4 deaths. So 4 rounds now since the rehost, and Kamikaze and Ivan still on the donut. Yeah, not a great look. I don't know what's gone wrong for that team, but it's been very much, I don't know, one-sided. It's been very heavily on players like Hask, and in that round, it was Jay finding those 2 picks.
Yeah, as you were saying, it kind of tends to lean back into that for them, where it's just like a very individualistic type of path that they've been walking.
E agora?
And it's, I mean, it can be good at certain moments in time, right? But Rainbow Six Siege is a team game. You really need to address it as such in your utility game and your clear, and it's just something that Alpha Theris aren't doing exactly a bang-up job of. Obviously, they're aware of these things. They are trying to use these things to the maximum potential of their ability. It's just that it's Space Station, baby. Like, I mean, it's hard to try and, you know, take this team to town in these kind of parameters.
Yeah, very much so. SSG, despite ups and downs, they are still SSG, and they will punish a team that doesn't dot their I's and cross their T's. We've seen gaps in the armor for Alpha Theris this game.
Drone ready.
1D out there for Ashen. We still have a call on J90 as well that can be utilized.
This is
They're
good info.
really taking their time this time.
They are. This is good info, though, for J90. He's not overcommitting this drone. So close to the bomb site. I really like the way Space Stations start these attacks, Sam, on the exhibition side. They just open up that wall, they lurk on the other side of the map, and they start exploring their options.
Yeah, they're very patient, and it's something that can, you know, give you over some big moments, or it's something that can be exploited if you're not watching the proper angles at the proper times. And that's going to be a big discovery there for Alpha Theris. Is they'll send one outside, they'll be able to find Ashen and tie him down. Hot and Cold's going to get pricked here on the stairwell, be able to pull out.
Pô, a trap do Laz é muito boa. Olha o dano que deu, né, mano?
Bolts his way back over towards potentially the rest
É
of
muita coisa.
Force has gotten inside of Geisha here.
Chega a finca, finca.
Doesn't seem like
Bora.
he really has anybody in the same zip code. We've got a couple people over in the drumline / shrine area, and actually the entire team of Alpha Theris in that main hallway, minus Ivan right here.
Yeah, it's your favorite hallway, right? Ivan's gone down below, though, and he's playing a little bit of game of cat and mouse with Hot and Cold here. I'm not sure if there's information either direction at the moment, but as soon as one shoots or sprints, the other will be aware. Have a look at this from Ivan. Okay, here comes the nade from Hot and Cold. That's perfect. But now there's going to be info on for Ivan. He has to make this flank work. He's so patient, perhaps too patient, coming around the corner now. Hot and Cold takes his head clean off. 4v3 now for SSG.
You really never know when Hot and Cold is just going to decimate somebody, even if he doesn't know they're there. I mean, Ivan is waiting for so long on that angle, just
bela double kill,
anticipating
hein,
him to
mano?
swing back
Uma
through
bela double kill.
delivery. And instead, he is delivered.
This is going to be a nuts shot for Fultz to land
Oh,
it
slide
through the bars, but he gets the better of Jay. And it has all fallen to pieces for Alpha Theris. Space Stations sweep through.
É, bom
And
round.
J90 secures the final kill as the first dub of the day for SSG is taken 7-3.
Well, son, we don't get to cast for very long, but it was a heck of a journey along the way. 7-3 in favor of Space Station Gaming. And Alpha Theris showing some signs of life. Pretty solid
Pô,
squad.
guys, eu tenho que
And, I
sair
mean,
aqui.
honestly, yeah, there's some
Beleza?
things to address, some different ways you might want to look to try and
Mas amanhã nós vem aí pra Super Live. Já eu tenho que ajudar minha mãe aqui. Fora dos planos. Bom, vou lá. Ou amanhã ou depois eu volto aí. Valeu, valeu, turma. É nóis. Fui.